Hello, hello, Guardians. I am Ransom Ryder, and today I'm in the kitchen. I'm not actually working in the Destiny cookbook today. I'm giving you one of my family recipes. This is a recipe that my mom and dad used to make for us uh, during the holidays. We had this during the holidays. Things would get busy. My mom would want to get up early and hit the shopping malls, the shopping centers. And remember, I grew up in the mountains, born in the backwoods, raised in a cave. So I had to travel. We traveled a very long distance to get to those shopping centers. It took a while. It took a while. So my mom would prepare these in advance, and we would get up and they would be ready to go. She would pop them in the oven on that Friday, Black Friday, and we would have them ready. We would eat, jump in the car, and be in a mad dash to make those Black Friday sales. I wanted to recreate this for you. Those are some of my fondest memories of hanging out with my family, my siblings, my mother, my dad, all together. And really the holidays, it's about family. So I wanted to share this with you and hope that you can form a tradition as you go forth. Now we know Eva Levante, she is a really phenomenal character inside of Destiny 2. She brings Guardians together. She brings us to the tower. You know, I feel like I hear a song in my head. She brings all the Guardians to the tower. You know, kind of bring that alive in your head. That's what Eva does. Now, these are scones. I'm going to be making scones, and I'm going to let you guess what kind of scones. When I pop this ingredient in, you'll know for sure. Now, this is a cup of white granulated sugar. I'm going to throw that into my bowl, spank it to get all the sugar out. Then I have some vanilla beans. These were hard to come by for us back in the sticks. You know, my mom worked diligently to make sure that we had vanilla beans. She would make sure she bought them on a trip to one of the larger cities. Now, if you've hung out with me, you know that we didn't even really have television signals. We didn't have radio signals. Things were rough back in the day. There were certainly no such things as a cell phone. And when we used the phone, we had a phone, okay? We weren't that primitive. We had a phone, but it was a community line. And when you picked up on that phone, there might be any number of people chatting on the phone. And you'd have to say, Mary Sue, will you let me use this line? I need to make a call. Now, these are vanilla beans. These are fresh, fresh from the source vanilla beans. I ordered these in, and Guardians, the smell, that aroma just wafting up through the air, it just emanates into the entire room. Word of the day, emanate. So I have cut these. You saw me just cut these, and then I'm going to pull these apart. I don't know if you can see that or not, but these are filled with vanilla seeds. And the seeds of this bean, it's really where you're going to get a lot of that flavor. Most of your flavor is going to come from that. Now, it's important that I get this spread apart. And then I'm going to run my knife down. Be careful with these knives. They're sharp. I'm going to run the knife down and scrape out every bit of vanilla bean that I can. Because the more vanilla that I get, the better, the tastier this is going to be. And my hands are clean because I don't want to waste a drop on my knife or my finger. So get off there. Get off there. I'm going to scrape this again. I think I might have missed a few right there. And save these bean pods because you can use these later. You can make your own vanilla flavoring. All right, I got that one done. Let me get a little sugar on there. Keep it from sticking. That's a hint. That's a little clue there about how to treat your vanilla beans. Treat them right. They'll be good to you. All right, now let me get this one opened up. It's a little bit of work when you're working with, the real vanilla bean and not just a store-bought vanilla extract. But now that's okay. If you don't have vanilla beans or you don't have access to them, don't hesitate to use vanilla flavoring because it's good. It's gonna impart a really good flavor into these scones. All right, now I think I got that as much as I can. I'm gonna save those. Those are gonna go into my jar to make vanilla flavoring for later. Got a couple little pieces there. I'll save that too. And then I'm gonna bring this over and use my clean hands just to rub this vanilla flavoring all through my sugar granules. And again, this is just white sugar, and this was 1/3 cup. I have my mom's recipe written down because when I only do these maybe once or twice a year, it's easy to forget, Guardians. This is easy to forget. So I'm gonna use my hands and just infuse that delicious vanilla flavoring from the bean all through this sugar because that's going to impart a really phenomenal flavor into this sweet and delicious dessert that I had with my family growing up, and I hope that you get to have this with your family. Now this is starting to come together. You can see it change color. It's smelling good. It's looking good. And I want to get it incorporated because I want this flavor to go throughout. Now, leave it in the bowl, not on my hands, leave it in the bowl. Okay, I want to go ahead and put my dry ingredients in. So I've got 2 cups of all-purpose flour. I've got this ready to go. It's going to go into my bowl with the sugar and vanilla. In you go, tap it, spank it, get it all out. Set that to the side. Now this is cinnamon, and I have a 1/2 teaspoon, or no, wait a minute. How much do I have of my cinnamon here? I want to make sure I give you the exact, this is an exact measurement. 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. In you go. Get in there, cinnamon. Dirty dish to the side. And then this is my baking powder. Now be sure that you're putting baking powder and not baking soda. 2 totally different things. And Guardians, if you put baking soda into your scones, you're not gonna like it. You're not gonna like it. But now Eva, I think Eva would have loved this recipe, and I think she would have probably put this into the official Destiny cookbook, because we know that Eva Levante, the recipes in the Destiny cookbook, they're hers. They're from her family recipes. Now this, speaking of the Destiny cookbook, this is a vanilla and cinnamon salt. This recipe I did take from the original cookbook, the official cookbook from Destiny, and it's a little bit extra. My mom did not have the cinnamon vanilla salt. She just used salt. But I'm using the amount of salt that she would have used, but I'm using it as a cinnamon vanilla salt. And do look at that cookbook and get this recipe. This is going to add that little extra touch. You know, try this on a baked potato or some of your delicious holiday dishes. This is going to be a treat for you if you've never tried a vanilla cinnamon salt. Now, how much was this? I just want to give you the ingredients because you're going to want to make this yourself. This is 1/2 teaspoon. 1/2 teaspoon, and this is my own private edition. Mom, I hope you like these. All right, in it goes. But Eva, you know, she's about family. Destiny 2 is about family. It's about coming together, really, and enjoying yourself inside a game where you have shared interest. We are in Season of the Wish as I'm making this, and there's a lot of phenomenal characters in there. We need to have a get-together. I need to serve scones to each and every character inside of Destiny 2. Yes, Crow, you're invited. Riven, misunderstood Riven, I'm going to make you a scone too, a big scone. All right, now I have a whisk, and I'm going to whisk my dry ingredients together. Get back in this bowl. Get back in this bowl. And earlier I did make that salt I mentioned, the vanilla cinnamon salt. I followed the Destiny cookbook recipe. And here's my little salt that I made from that. And I will keep that and use that for the holiday season. All right, now I want to combine these really well. You don't want an area that's just not really fully incorporated with the flavors that you're adding here. The vanilla, the salt, the cinnamon, the sugar. So I'm going to stir this with my ball whisk, and it's going to fully incorporate and get this all ready for my further ingredients. Now, we're getting close to being completed on this. This is kind of a quick and easy recipe. There's not a whole lot of ingredients, just the few that you're seeing. Plus, I'm going to add some butter. And let me grab my butter. My butter is in the refrigerator. You want your butter very, very cold. So I'm going to grab my butter and get it, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to work that in. I'll be right back. All right, Guardians, I am back. I am back with my butter. Now, this butter is very chilled. I've had it in the freezer for just a few minutes, about 10 minutes. So it's very cold. I'm going to pull this, and I did grate it like you were grating cheese. I grated this butter because I want it to stay cold. You know, I have to work quickly once I get this in, and I still have a couple of steps to do. So in goes the butter. Get in there, butter. I want to make sure I get all of that out. Use your fingers. They're great tools. They're great tools. Now, in my little side bowl here, I've got blueberries. They're coming up. Hang with me. I know you're eyeballing those. I see you looking at my blueberries. I'll let you know what we're going to do with those in just moments. This is a heavy cream. And how much cream did I use here? This was 3/4 cup heavy cream into the bowl. And again, this is very cold. I want these ingredients to be very cold. In you go. Set the dirty dish to the side. I have 1 egg straight out of the refrigerator. I'm going to crack the egg and get it into my mixture. No shells in there, no shell. And the egg is going to really keep my scones together. It's kind of the glue that's going to hold it all together. Let me grab a napkin. I need to wipe my hands. Egg. I've got egg. Now I'm going to use my whisk and get this egg incorporated into my heavy cream. Because again, this is the glue. This is the glue. All right, now that's incorporated. Now I'm going to work with my hands in the butter and flour. And we want this to come together and kind of look like a breadcrumb, like you had opened breadcrumbs, and this needs to look kind of related to breadcrumbs. The thing about your scones and a lot of things that you're going to make like biscuits, scones, pastries, you don't want to overwork your flour. You want this to be a nice consistency, but when I add the liquid, the heavy cream and the egg, I don't want to overwork this. But these little pockets, when these cook and the butter starts to melt, it will have a little pocket of air left behind, and it makes your scone fluffy and tender and absolutely delicious. That's why it's so important to have cold butter. Make your butter cold. Now, this is starting to look good. It's looking crumbly. I'm using my fingers. You could put this into, you know, one of the electronic machines, Braytech. You could Braytech this flour and butter, but it's so easy to overwork it when you've got the fancy equipment. Just use the best equipment there is, your hands. All right, this is looking good. I feel like it's incorporated. I'm just getting a few little pieces that are hanging out. Incorporate. And these are my blueberries. These are fresh, but you could just as easily use a frozen blueberry or any other frozen fruit that you would like. If something's not in season, don't hesitate to use frozen. In go the blueberries. Now, I don't want to get these blueberries too mashed up. I don't want to burst my berries. Don't burst your berries in here. Just get these together. It's like family coming together. Sometimes they separate, but you know, keep working with them. You can get them all back together at some point. I hope you can. All right, get in there, blueberries, incorporate. Blueberries are in. Now, I've got a mess of flour, but that's okay. You know, a little bit of mess shows you put a lot of love into it. And I am loving making these for you guys for the holidays. Back to my whisk, my butter and my egg, or my cream and my egg, fully incorporated, and I'm just going to mix this in. And again, I'm going to use my hands. I don't mind using my hands. I do have a spoon. I could probably spoon a little bit of this in. Let me grab a spoon. I'm going to work just a little bit of it in, and then I'm going to shift back to my hands. Now, you're going to think that this mixture is way too dry, but I promise you it's not. You want it to be a little bit crumbly because that's going to show that you're actually doing a good job with it. Going to fold this in, and look at that. It's coming together. It's starting to form. I am loving, you know, blueberries, yes, any time of year. I like blueberries, and I am told they're really good for you. They are really good for you. All right, now I've gone as far as I want to with the spoon. I'm going to set my mess to the side. Get off of there. I think Riven would like a scone, a big scone for Riven. Riven sits all day long in the dreaming city. She's misunderstood. She's all alone. She has no family. Her family has been taken away from her. I understand why she's upset and a little bit angry. Now, I don't want any pockets of flour. So I just want to take a look at this and make sure that there's no pockets of dry flour. And it's looking good. All right, it's looking good. Now I need to flour my cutting board. So I'm going to move these aside. Get off there. Get off. Move it aside. Get my knife out of the way. Grab this, and then I have some flour. I'm going to flour my workstation, my area. And then I'm going to put my blueberries out, and we're going to be ready very soon to cut the dough. Now I'm going to pull it over. Get over here. A blueberry tried to get away. Get all that dough out. One last little blueberry in there. Ah, he's still trying to escape. Flour my fingers, which are a little bit messy. Now again, I don't want to overwork this because overworking it, you know, can really smush all your blueberries and cause this to get way, way too hard. Now I've got it kind of shaped up, and I want to put this in the refrigerator and let it chill before I do my final cut on these. I want it to be cold because, again, I don't want that butter to be warm, and it probably has heated up a little bit from my hands and the room temperature. So I'm going to put this back into the fridge and let it cool, and then I'll be right back, and we'll cut these, and then I'm going to let it refrigerate for just a minute more to make sure they're super chilled. I'll be right back. Thank you so much for hanging with me. Guardians, I am back. My dough has been in the refrigerator for about 5 minutes. I've cleaned up my workstation. I like to keep it clean. I'm going to flour my working surface again and just put my dough out and give it just a final little go through. And you know, you want to keep this about an inch thick because really, if you get over an inch, they might fall. They might fall. So about an inch thick on your dough. So I'm just mashing this out. I have my much loved pan ready to go. I'm mashing it down. I've smushed a couple of blueberries, but it happens, it happens. Now, I'm gonna put some flour on my cutter. Does it help? I think so. And let's start cutting out some of these. I felt it go into blueberry. Let's put a big one on there. It's a nice size. Let's get another one. But my blueberries are chilled. Hopefully they're not gonna bleed too bad. Get on there. These big scones are lovely. They're absolutely lovely. They're Destiny 2 worthy. If I were on the tower and I was taking a break from a raid, this is the kind of scone I want. Give me a scone, give me a tea. All right, I think I can get one more out of here. And then I'm going to incorporate my remaining dough. We're not going to waste it. I'm going to get it all back together. Come on now, come on, get together. Take it back down to that 1-inch size. I think I can get one more out of here. Voila. And then this last one, Guardians, I'm going to give it to Riven. Now, back home, we would call this a big cat head, but actually I think all of these are cat head size. You know, this is a scone that would be called a cat head size, about the size of a cat's head. Now, this little one, I mean, I think I did just as good as the cutter. These are ready, but we do need to give these they need one final chill. I'm gonna leave these in the refrigerator for about 15 to 20 minutes and make sure they are super chilled. Then they're gonna go into a 400-degree oven for 25 to 35, 40 minutes, depending on your oven. Ovens vary. So definitely check them, rotate them half the way through. You know, if you think that you're gonna need to bake these for about 35 minutes, check them at about 17, 18 minutes and rotate them in your oven so that you get a nice even browning. Now, when I get these out of the refrigerator, I'm gonna do a milk wash. So I'll be right back. Hang with me. Guardians, while my scones are in the freezer, I'm gonna go ahead and make a topping. Now, this is an additional little add. It's not in my mom's recipes, but this is something I absolutely love on a scone. You know, usually butter and some preserves, some jams, jellies, but I like cream cheese. This is Philadelphia cream cheese. I'm going to add in, so this is brown sugar, and this is 1/4 cup. I did not pack this brown sugar. I mean, because I could just eat the cream cheese on the scone all by itself, and you can do that. But brown sugar is going in. My cream cheese is at room temperature, and then I'm gonna mix this a little bit first, and then I'm gonna add some blueberries. And this is gonna be a fantastic topping. Now, I'm using a modern convenience. This is a hand mixer, and I really feel like Clovis Bray, some of his ancestors would have been behind the invention of the stand mixer, but it would have worked with a technology beyond our understanding, and it would have had 500 speeds and voice command. Well, and we would have probably had some type of bot that would have been working it for us. Now, I want to get that brown sugar incorporated, and I want to get this cream cheese really incorporated with the brown sugar. It's a marriage. This is a marriage made in sugar heaven, and it's going to delight your senses. It's good enough to just eat it with a spoon, but we're going to use it on the scones. I'm letting my scones, remember, they're in the freezer. I'm gonna brush them with a heavy cream brush when I get them out, and then we're gonna be baking them. So I wanted to do this while I get all of that ready. All right, that's looking really good and combined. And then I'm gonna hand fold in fold in. There's shows about it. I'm gonna fold in. I'm just gonna let these clean themselves, get as much of that cream cheese off as possible. I'm trying to hold it low so that I won't get a mess. Get off of there, cream cheese. We need your goodness. We need your goodness. All right, yum. Release. That looks so good. Now, let me get a paper towel. A napkin is ready. Lay it out there. But off camera, I'm gonna lick those clean, okay? I'm gonna lick them clean. My mom would always call me over and she'd say, Ransom, would you like to lick the spoon? And I'd be like, yes, give me the spoon. All right, now I wanna fold these in ever so gently. You can also go with the hand mixer and get those in here. But I'm gonna leave them more in the chunky size. I want the chunky size, and that is like 1/4 of a cup of blueberries. You could definitely add more depending on your taste. And this is gonna be a nice little spread. I will put these in an individual serving. And if you were coming over to my house for the holidays, which I'd love to have you, Guardians, I would love to have you, especially the designers, all the crews, teams, the technicians, the brilliant people that work on Destiny every single day. I'd love to have you over. We would have some of these scones. We would talk about the good times and celebrate what is my favorite game, Destiny 2. All right, now this is ready. All right, I'll be right back with my scones, which are in the freezer, getting ready to have a little milk bath and go into the oven. I'll be right back. Guardians, these have been in the freezer. I let these stay about 20, 25 minutes. I got busy and left them in there a little bit longer, but it's okay. You could actually leave these in the freezer. Just remember that the more frozen they are, you're gonna have to adjust your baking times. Now I have some heavy cream. I'm gonna give them a milk bath. This is gonna give them a nice shine. And you know, it'll take care of any of those little dry spots of flour that might remain. And I'm just doing the top. I'm doing the tops. Let's get them a milk bath. We want that shine. And this would be a good time to sprinkle some granulated heavy sugar. Some of the larger cake sugars would be actually really pretty on this. It would give it kind of a sparkle and a little additional sweetness. And for American scones, we like a little sweetness. Eva Levante likes a little sweetness. And we like Eva Levante. She brings treasures to us, and I want to be good to her. She gets the first one. Eva, you get the first one. All right, now those are going into the oven. I have, this is the cream cheese and blueberry with brown sugar icing that I made earlier. Let's get these into the oven, 35 to 45 minutes, depending on your time, more or less. Check your oven and get these in there. Let them bake. Keep a watch on them. Turn them halfway through. If your oven normally takes about 35, 40 minutes, flip the pan, rotate it halfway through. I'll be right back. Now remember on those, the more frozen they are, it will take slightly longer. If they're not frozen or just slightly chilled, you can adjust your time down to 25, 35 minutes. Just keep a watch on them. Keep a watch. We're gonna be back in Guardians. I promise you, by the time of this video ends, we're gonna be eating some blueberry scones with fresh blueberry spread. And I want to definitely say thank you to all of you this year who have hung out with me. And I'm hoping that my original fire team will be able to come this evening and taste these scones with me. If you guys have watched me through the years, because I started Destiny way back when, and I was there the day the tower fell. I was there the day we got our light back. I've been through it. You know, the Witch Queen, Riven, every raid inside the game, Destiny 2, I've been there. I have conquered the darkness. and guardians. You know, the holiday season, it's about coming together and making your way through to the people you care about, voicing your opinion, and they listening to your opinion because you matter. Now, I am Ransom Ryder, and I know you guys hang out with me, and I appreciate you. If I could, I'd have you here for some blueberry and cinnamon scones. I'll be right back. All right, Guardians, the scones are in the oven. They're near completion. I have made a blueberry spread. I want to make a brown sugar and cinnamon spread. This one actually has 1 Philadelphia cream cheese at room temperature, 1/3 cup brown sugar. This one's firmly packed. It's firmly packed. Get in there, brown sugar. This has a small, what size was this? 1/4 teaspoon cinnamon. In you go. And this has a full 2 teaspoons of vanilla flavoring. In you go. Now in the scones, we used vanilla beans, the real deal. And this, I'm using vanilla flavoring. Let me grab my mixer and I'm going to mix this up. It's a little special treat for you. I'll be right back. All right, Guardians, back to my hand mixer. I have the vanilla flavoring, the brown sugar, the cinnamon, and the cream cheese. Let's get this mixed. Now, this is a little bit heavier on the sugar. You know, I know sometimes you like it a little bit sweeter. Be sweet to me, Ribbon. Be sweet to me. I know Eris Morn. She's been sweet on me for a long time. She likes raisins. Eris likes raisins. And these actually would have been good had we gone with a cinnamon raisin scone. But that's another year, another season. We'll make some cinnamon raisin. All right, I'm mixing this. I'm mixing it. I want to get it fully incorporated. That cinnamon, the brown sugar, the vanilla, and this will be a really phenomenal spread. I also have some homemade strawberry preserves. This is a treat. It's a treat. As I said, with my family, when we went shopping, it was special because we did it so rarely. I know we did it before back to school, and we did it prior to the holiday season fully commencing. And we celebrated Christmas at my house. We celebrated. We went all out, the tree, the ornaments, the lights outside, the whole deal. My mother and father were just so spectacular about making sure the family had a fantastic holiday season and that they really tried to make our wishes come true for what we wanted. They worked really hard, and they tried to ask us what's something you would want brought to you for the holiday season to enjoy with the family, and we let them know, and it was always a good time. I smell my scones. I'll be right back. Thank you for hanging out with me. Guardians, these are fresh out of the oven. They're looking absolutely fantastic. I'm going to get them on a cooling rack, and then I'll be back. Hang with me. Guardians, I'm eating the scone. Now, I filmed a little snippet with Vol and Havoc, my original fire team. Did I fall apart? Absolutely, I fell apart. We are celebrating the dawning, Eva Levante, and all the good that she's done. Eva Levante. What did I say? Evil. We don't know yet. Things could change very quickly. Could she be taken? Could she be spying on us? Evil Levante. I love to have conjecture about what the game may hold in the future that it has. But yeah, I get emotional. There's no shame in that. I'm a grown man. I'll cry if I want to. Now, that is, I guess, a wrap for this holiday season, the dawning, Eva Levante. Not evil. I do have my original fire team. They're still here laughing at me from beyond the cameras. But try this. I know you're going to love it, just as I've loved it for years. They're absolutely soft, delicious, buttery goodness, filled with everything that can make your holiday a little bit brighter. The dawning. I'm Ransom Ryder. Destiny 2. It is my favorite game. and I will see you very soon inside the gaming world. Bye. Bye. I hope they show you my breakdown. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Bye. Thank you, Guardians.